guys, Kelly here from Kelly S, and I'm sharing a Sacrafters DT project with you today, and it's the altered paint storage. Please use coupon code KELLYFANS for your 5% off if you spend $30 or more at the checkout. So I'm starting by gluing the system together, and I'm just doing the sides, the bottom and the top. I'm not doing the rails yet, and I'm using some Gorilla wood glue for this, but you could use Aileen's tacky glue, Elmer's wood glue, and there's also some hot glues that you can use that are specifically for wood. What I then do is add some elastic bands to it to hold it all together and then leave it to dry. So here you can see it's dried, and I have some black acrylic paint, and the only reason I'm using acrylic paint is because I can't currently find my black gesso. It's packed in a box somewhere, no idea where it is, so I'm using some black acrylic paint. And as you can see, I am painting the entire of the inside in the black acrylic paint, and the bottom and the sides inside as well. And then I'm actually going to paper the outside, but I'm not papering the inside, so that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm on to the inside inserts, and for the pale green colour I'm using Crafters acrylic in Spa Blue, and I don't bother gessoing those first because I don't mind if the colour isn't entirely true. So I just start by, as you can see, painting every other one in the Spa Blue, and then I paint every other one in a pink colour, which you'll see in a minute. The pink that I use is Crafters acrylic in Cherry Blossom Pink. So now I've just flipped them all over, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint all of the opposite sides. Now that everything's dry, I'm going to begin inserting the shelves into the case, and I decide not to bother gluing them because they're quite tight with the amount of paint I've used, and also once I stick the paper on the side, that'll also help to hold them in place. Once everything's in, I then go ahead and glue the front piece down, and I get my papers out, and I use the romance novel paper by Prima. I don't have very much of this. I was a bit late on the romance novel, so I only ever got, I think, 3 sheets of 12 by 12, and I've been saving it for a project that is going to sit out on my desk so that I can see it, so that's why I chose this paper for this. I've been hoarding it for ages, and as you can see, the paint storage is actually taller than the 12 by 12 paper, so I have to cut some smaller pieces at the top, but that doesn't really bother me. I put some lace around that, so it looks really good later. I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress ink in the black soot, and I'm going around the edges of all of the papers, and because some of it's already got sort of a dark black around the edge, I actually try and make it quite dark, and I want it to blend into the black acrylic paint of the case that we did earlier. going to begin adhering the papers, and I use Scotch quick dry glue for this. And as the paint storage, as you can see, is so tall, that's a piece of 12 by 12, and then I actually had to cut another bit for the top. I stuck them as close together as I could so it didn't look strange, but I also went and covered up the seam with some lace, which you'll see a bit later on. So here I've pulled out some vintage trims from my stash, and these are from Dishy Vintage on Etsy, and obviously the Sacrafters products that I have used will be linked below, and I'm just using the vintage trims to go ahead and cover up that seam in between the two papers. It also gives the project a little bit more texture. However, I'm trying to keep this pretty flat because I am going to store this on my desk, obviously, so I can get to my paints and stuff. So I want it pretty flat, but this gives it a bit of texture and something a bit extra to look at. Once all that's adhered down, I use some leftover trim on the top, and I'm also going to add a few little flowers to the top as well, and they are from my stash, and we're about to see those now. So they are both Prima flowers, and this is the Sacrafters bird, and I like the colour, so I'm just going around the edges with some of the same black soot that we used earlier, and there is also a little number tag there as well, and I go around the edges of that with black soot too. Then I'm adhering everything down with Fabri-Tac. So there's the piece of lace, the two really pretty Prima flowers there, and the two wood pieces that I've decided to use. And that about finishes my project, guys. I'm really happy with it. This is brilliant for paint storage, and obviously I'm in the UK and it fits UK paints in it as well as the American paint, so that's brilliant. It fits the Americana and the Crafters acrylic all really well, as you can see. And there will be some still photos just about to come up, so please stay tuned for them. Please use the coupon code for your discount at Sacrafters. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye guys, take care.